I was actually praying twice a day that that would happen. And in December of 2021, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just totally lost your question. What did you ask me?
What are the negatives and positives of your Gaulier experience, would you say?
Um, the negatives, well, it's just the struggle that I had of letting go of my conception of myself, um, which was essential. That was absolutely essential to let go of that. And I let go kicking and screaming. Um, yeah, my whole conception of myself changed. And that was very painful. That was very painful. The positives, like I came out with this character that I auditioned with and that really like gave me a lot of success. I couldn't have done what I did on that television show without having gone there. I remember a specific moment in class that I feel was I look at that moment and it's a moment where I was playfully challenging. And Philippe and I had this play back and forth. So I wasn't really seeing him as the authority figure. I think it happened in characters. I wasn't seeing him as an authority figure, but I was seeing someone to play with. Um, and that I saw elements of that full on reflected on that show where I was bantering back and forth with the judges who, people like put them in the place of gods. And I just wanted to do my act. I didn't care that they were trying to stop me. I just wanted to keep continuing on with my act. And yeah, and going to the school made it possible. Going to the school made it possible for me to fail and get booed by 2,000 people. Um, and so, a lot of people say things like, "Oh, he's a racist, he's a misogynist." It's like, well, it's a game. Like everything that happened there, I feel was this beautifully, brilliantly constructed game, which by the end of the term, I mean, he could give me an insult and I would just laugh, or you hears him insulting someone else, and we laugh because it was like, oh my gosh. And like, wow, that's what the whole purpose of this was, right? To have for me immunity on some degree to criticism, um, and just not to take things so seriously. Um, and even with, I had all these comments on this video that went like, I got 2.2 million likes, and I just, all the comments that were like, this is crap. 8 minutes of my life I lost, and I could just kind of laugh at it. And I read all the comments, and someone was upset that I was making people fun. They thought I was making fun of neurodivergent people, and they're like, "Why doesn't she just do blackface?" It was just really like weird, like awful. But I could take it in and laugh about it and say, "Oh, that's just this dumb person's opinion. What do I think of myself?" Another thing I feel like it's really important to talk about is, he has the drum, and you hear the sound of the drum as like, "Thank you, goodbye," and you might have prepared all week to present something, and "Thank you, goodbye," and it's gone. And so I think I learned how to make a strong proposal, how to bring a strong, like fully developed, nice, beautiful costume, well rounded idea, and have someone say, you need to change everything about that. And that's what happened with Sunny. And so to have someone say that and to a week later bring a new proposal integrating, the suggestion and having that blow them away. So I think those week after week, the auto cores, bringing something, getting 2 seconds on stage that you've rehearsed all week and spent money on costume and so excited to present, and have to throw it out. I think that's what in the real life, you know, I think that's what people want you to bring, unless they have a specific idea. But I think especially with a lot of film things, it's like I think Alfred Hitchcock would kind of do that. And a lot of actors didn't like working with him because he wouldn't give them specific direction. And he would just say no. And so I think that's the one of the real one of the jewels that I got out of going to that school was to just throw my idea out and say, instead of, being filled with self-pity, why is he saying no to me? Because I got it out of my system. I like to think I got it out of my system in school. Because this year again, I presented a proposal to America's Got Talent, and I auditioned in front of the celebrity judges again, and that whole process was very much like that was an even bigger production. But being at a professional level, which is where I see myself being at a professional level, where I have to throw out my idea and I have to not have be sulking about it. It's like, okay, that doesn't work. Great. I'll bring something new. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, I'll bring something new. And then, but there are times also when I can kind of fight a little bit for what I feel, um, what I feel is important.